Welcome everybody, it's your boy, the Versace Stoner, and we are cruising for bruising. We are way up north. That's right, Canada. And, well, unfortunately, this Sable Wolf got detained. I don't know how. I'm usually the one with the smoke. I'm usually the one with the border problems. But today, it was him. I had to leave him at the border. I had to get through. I had to see what's going on the other side. And my God, is it beautiful. My God, is it clean. My God, is it empty. There is not a lot of people here in Canada. I can tell you that much. But it is great. I love it. And you know what? Else I love is good professional wrestling. And that's what I'm on the search for. I heard today that I should be looking for the Steel Panther, Cameron Stevens. And that's who I am going to be speaking with. And I can't wait. Here he is now.
What's going on, brother? It's going good, man. It's going good.
You know, it is here, Cruisin for Bruisin. We made it up your way, and, we're here to talk a little pro wrestling.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite topics of discussion.
That is great. From what I've gathered and I've seen from social media links, you're a pretty big deal up north.
I try to be, man. I try to be. I like to keep myself as busy as humanly possible. Yeah, man. It's all about trying to keep myself out there, get as many people getting an eye on me, and hopefully they like what they see.
That's great. And here at the VSW, that's what we're all about. We love to support people and showcase them. Show the world what you guys do inside the ring. Sometimes not enough eyes get on the individuals. They might get on the product, yes, but not on the individuals. And that's what we're here for. And we're glad to have you on here. I've been watching some of your matches. You've shared some links with me, and it's been great. I see you got a pro wrestling tee store. We'll be making an order here soon this week, as I've been ordering from I've been ordering from all our guests on Cruisin for Bruisin, because I like to support you guys. That's what we do, like I said. So I do have a few questions for you. Let me ask you this: what got you into pro wrestling?
So what got me into pro wrestling originally was my cousin Steven, which is where the Stevens comes from. And he used to babysit me when I was a kid, right?
Yep.
So when he would babysit me, he would always have wrestling on. He would always have his action figures. I remember he had them piled up in his closet. They could have been in a bin, I don't remember, but I remember there being so many action figures in that closet. We would be playing with the action figures, we'd be playing the video games, and he'd always have the events on. He'd always have wrestling on the TV, and by the time I was 2, I was hooked.
That's funny you say that. I'm the older cousin role in my family for probably all my cousins, because I was the one with all the action figures. I was the one always having it on the TV. I was the one always putting the kids in moves. I remember putting my little cousin in, sharpshooters for days. And they would always ask me about the guys, and I'd teach them all about it. That's great, because at the end of the day, wrestling does bring people together. And it started off as, something for the family. Saturday nights, crowd around, you go out with the family, you see a show, and it's great that got you into it, and, that's what introduced you to this lovely sport. So
100%, and it's funny, man, this is something, too, where wrestling is something that's been able to help myself in a very large way throughout life, but yeah, it's without wrestling, man, you never know where you'd end up.
It is true, I feel like it is, sort of a, I would say, I don't know how to say it. I would say it's almost a medicine to some, where, is an escape without substance. You can take that mind trip. You can be in another reality without having to do any substances, without having to take any pills, drink any drinks, do anything. And you can just put yourself in a better spot. I know it works for the.
It kind of gives you that natural high.
It does, and I know it. I know that's what it does for fans because I see them all the time, and they're always telling me, oh, I've had such a horrible day, and I'll say, well, here, throw this on the TV. Call me back in an hour, and in an hour, they're like, wow, that was great, thank you. That's just what I needed. Or I've had, other, people have had really bad weeks. I'll take them to a show with me and just be like, here we go. And, that will change their mood around. So I can only imagine for on the other spectrum of it, the wrestlers, I'm sure the same thing's happening. You're having a bad day, that could change it. Well, how, listening to the crowd, listening to the fans all, behind you.
Absolutely. And even when they're not behind you, that can, it's almost more fun when they're not behind you because then, then you get to go back and forth with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's nothing like a little banter with the the bad guys when you're ringside. It's always fun, and depending on I've had great experience where the wrestlers really get into it. Other times they kind of just ignore, but there's been great times where they've gotten into character, they've played it out, and it's really just enhanced the experience of the show. It's what breaks it out. WWE, AEW, that's all great. I love it. I grew up watching that. Of course, most people did. WCW, all in WWE. Those were NWA. Those are the main three back growing up. Yes, it's great. Going to those shows, there's something special. I went to Mania last year. It's a big deal, yes. But you're not going to find the level of intimacy and, even fan experiences with other fans that you're gonna find at an independent wrestling show. You're gonna probably meet one of your favorite wrestlers that night, regardless. And just the level that you do get of interaction, it's something different that most fans that go to just mainstream don't understand.
Well, and that's just it. When you go to an independent wrestling show, realistically, if you go to a WWE show and it's intermission, that's your time to go get popcorn, check the merchandise stand, whatever. Realistically, it's the same thing for an independent show, but it's not somebody with a company t-shirt selling you the merchandise. It's the wrestler themselves selling you the t-shirt. So it doubles as you're picking up the merchandise, but you're also having a bit of a meet and greet with the wrestlers at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You're getting to see the wrestlers, like I said, sell their own product. You're getting that interaction. You can get autographs and all that fun. And it's not, not for that $300, price range. You have to pay to meet, a WWE champion. And I will tell you this, I've met some very top notable names at independent shows that, even at that you'll see the next week on television and the price is quadrupled. It's kind of funny.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, 100%.
But that's what I like about the independent scene also is you're never going to know who you're going to see today and tomorrow's going to be on TV. Where I'm here in the Northeast, we have a very rich wrestling talent pool. You're always seeing guys getting picked up on Dark, Elevation, NXT, and all these other great, wonderful shows, And, and I'm sure you guys have your own, talent pool up there that, you guys have a very rich history of wrestling in Canada.
Absolutely. Where I was actually trained by Bruce Hart back in, what year would it be now? I was 15 when I started training with him. 16 throughout the majority of my training, but yeah, man, came in with Bruce, and he would always tell me stories about Dynamite and Pillman. Pillman was one of his favorites to tell stories about.
Well, that's awesome. It's getting trained by someone that's worked with other legends in the game and just had all these great stories. It must just be something. And plus, you're learning. You're learning from the best, and if you want to be the best, sometimes you have to learn from the best. That's the facts.
100%. And I always loved learning from Bruce. There's a lot of knowledge there with him that is very helpful for the next generation that's coming in through AWA, actually, Alberta Wrestling Academy out in Alberta. Bruce is actually working with them as well.
And now, let me ask you: is that what you're working with out there?
Say it one more time, sorry?
Is that what you're working with out there in Canada? AW?
There's a few companies I'm working with out here. New Evolution Wrestling in Newfoundland, and Can-Am Wrestling / Alberta Wrestling Academy out in Alberta, which is almost on the complete other side of the country, but yeah.
Well, keeping busy any which ways, and how can like let me like this. So, for instance, here, we got wrestling. Obviously, we got televised wrestling, like you guys got televised wrestling, but none of our independents, besides I don't know. Actually, no, I can't. I don't think any of the independents are actually on television. We have IWTV. You can find all that on there, and then the individual promotions will sometimes have websites in their own way to get it out there. But we don't actually have it syndicated on any television. So I'm just curious, how can my fans here watch what you do there?
So you are in what part of the country there, out in the U.S.?
I'm in the Northeast, so I'm in the Massachusetts, New York kind of area.
Okay. It's a good question. I don't know if you guys get NTV out there, do you? I know NTV goes across Canada. I don't know if it's available out in that area.
Maybe through a satellite dish or something.
Possibly, not 100% sure, but yeah. So New Evolution Wrestling is on NTV every week. We got a half-hour program on that network every single week,
and that's all across Canada, right? That's broadcasted across Canada.
Oh, absolutely, broadcasted across Canada, and it's something. It's a very massive network in Newfoundland. It's a huge deal here. The rest of the country, however, is not necessarily the same. However, having the option to promote the program to a whole new audience, where it's like, hey man, you can check this show out at whatever time, and if you don't want to watch it at that time, you can record it and watch it later, right?
Yep. That's that is the plus side of having it being televised. We get to do that with certain shows. So but I'm guessing they also have a YouTube channel as well.
Of course, New Evolution Wrestling on YouTube. I'm also associated with, this is going to be a big laundry list here. Alberta Wrestling Academy, I'm pretty sure they're on YouTube as well. Let's see here. I already said New Evolution Wrestling. Myself, the Steel Panther, Cameron Stevens, I'm on YouTube. Easiest way to find everything I do is Linktree, linktr.ee/TSP Cameron Stevens, and the best part about that link is you'll find everything I do, from YouTube, social medias, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whole 9 yards. Whatever you want to find out of my stuff, it's all there, including my store. But yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. Staying busy.
That is great. We love Linktree too. It makes things very easy, especially when I meet wrestlers and I meet other people in the business, and they're like, "Here's a Linktree." It just makes it so much easier. If I need to find photos, if I need to find, just absolutely, whatever it is, it just makes it so much. We really appreciate it.
And one of the projects I had given myself was making myself a website. So I've got my official website is the number one top link on my Linktree. So anyone who wants to check that out, feel free. It's got my match history. I can't say it's my full match history, because when I went back to try to look into the information, there were a good few matches I couldn't find any information on. So pretty much everything I did in Saskatchewan, I don't know anything about. I lost all the information on it.
Yep.
But it's, I think, maybe 3-4 matches tops.
That is very cool, though. And it's awesome. You make your own stuff and do your own work and all that. I'm myself a graphic web designer, so I can definitely appreciate when people put work into what they do. It makes a difference. And so let me ask you this: you have any big matches coming up?
Well, I got another show here coming up in 2 days. Clarenville Days from the Eastlink Event Center in Clarenville, Newfoundland. And yeah, that show is going to be a good one, man. I'm super excited. And after that, I've got some big plans in the works, but yeah, we'll see how all those play out as they play out.
You hear that, people? You're gonna have to follow along all the social media links just to see what's going on. But believe me, you're gonna want to see. You're gonna want to see. When people say big things are in the works, it usually is something big. And speaking of big and things in the works, I hear that you two also have a podcast.
I do, yeah. I'm actually in the process of having more than one, but as of right now, I've only got one. I just did episode 3 with a good buddy of mine, Tony Novak. He mainly works out of Saskatchewan out here. Yeah, man, the show is called Inspired, and basically the idea behind the show is, as professional wrestlers and promoters, business owners, musicians, whoever comes on, right?
Yep.
As people who are in a position to inspire somebody else, I feel like it's a very powerful thing to be able to tell that next generation that we're inspiring what inspired us and who inspired us.
Oh, very.
You know what I mean?
Very, very true. And I mean, you briefly touched on your your cousin getting you into wrestling, but let me ask you, who inspired you? In the sport.
Oh man, I could go all day with that. I'll keep it brief with this. So the first 3 episodes we discussed, Mick Foley was the number 1 episode. A massive influence, both personally and professionally. Mick Foley is one of my heroes, and I can confidently say that. I can confidently say Mick Foley is somebody who helped me get out of some very dark places, and I very much appreciate him, and he's tremendous. Episode 3 we just had yesterday, and we're recording this on, the 21st? Yeah, so we had that yesterday, and that was myself with Tony, and we were discussing the Hardy Boys. He was more of a Matt guy, I was more of a Jeff guy, so we had a nice little conversation there. Yeah, there's a good few coming up. I got a buddy coming on, one of my best friends, not just in wrestling, but in life, Heroic Headbanger, Jordan Aries. He's going to be coming on at some point, and we will be discussing Motley Crue.
Ah, that's going to be a great episode.
I'm very excited for that one. The Dirt completely... That movie alone, just watching The Dirt, I watched that, and I was like, that looks like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And realistically, The Dirt is where the Steel Panther was born, man. That's where it came from, and it progressed into... It just started out as, okay, I'm just going to be this headbanging rocker, this hair metal style rocker, and then it was actually Justin Crickard, one of the referees out here in Newfoundland, who... and I can't remember who had the idea, but Crick was the one who came to me with it. It could have been a John Biz idea. But they came up to me and they're like, "What do you think of the Steel Panther?" Like, have you ever heard Steel Panther before? And at this point, I had never heard of Steel Panther.
Yeah.
Not once. But I liked the name, so I was like, Steel Panther, that sounds deadly. Okay, well, I'll give it a try, right? Let's see how it works. And it worked. So I started listening to a little bit of Steel Panther, and holy fuck, they're hilarious.
That's great. So I mean, like, and that's always like I like to learn about it. You see people on TV, like you get names, you hear a name, but you gotta wonder, like, how did they get to A to B? You don't just wake up and your name is this. There is some thought that goes behind that. There is, and sometimes there's even some sentiment that goes behind that. With hidden meaning in their name and hidden initials and all sorts of things. So it's always cool to kind of like, talk about that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And like, I absolutely love being able to express myself in different ways, and I find that wrestling is a tremendous way to be able to do that. I found that doing graphics work has tremendously increased my creative outlet, so I can, just be hands-on with something, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just need that creative outlet, and it will make all the difference in the world. Like I said, I'm a graphic designer by trade and web designer. So I started that a long time ago, and it's changed. Of course, things have gotten easier for people to make stuff. Things have gotten harder for people like me because other people can just do it themselves. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
I like to...
I'm kind of a outlaw mud show graphics designer. I taught myself, but it's
well, yeah. I went to school for like a year, and then I was like, you know what? I got certified in what I had to do, and I was like, you know what? Anything else further than this, I already know. And from then on in, like now we're talking over 20 years, I probably self-taught myself, everything from then on. But yeah, graphics, art, wrestling, music, it's all just outlets for like positivity, or it could be negativity. But if you choose to make it a positive outlet, you'll find your life in a positive place.
I agree, man. And being able to express yourself, no matter what way you do so, being able to express yourself and vent any emotion you got, it's always a great thing to be able to release that energy.
Exactly, and in all those ways I just mentioned, whether like I said, even wrestling, it's all in a positive way. You can go out and put on a kick-ass match, and deal with all your frustrations of the week. And it will be great. You can light the place up. You can use that energy that you have. You can use those bad thoughts. You can use whatever anxieties or whatever is bothering you and troubling you. You can use it to your advantage. Harness the energy and just put it all into the show.
Oh, absolutely. And like, I'll be honest with you, one of my favorite matches I've ever had was my most recent one. We were in a bar. Kitty Vitty Tap Room out here in Newfoundland, out in St. John's. And I wrestled Drew Douglas.
Yep.
Formerly known as Too Damn Hype. He's basically one of the iconic Newfoundland wrestlers, right? Like, he was one of the guys who came in under Sailor and stuff like that. So I was very excited to get to wrestle him, and the match wasn't a get your shit in style match, if that makes sense. Like,
yep.
It's not one of those balls to the wall. It's making everything count. And the fucker kept going after my eye. So I was a little visually impaired for the majority of the match, but I managed to plant my Superman punch, my Panther's claw, if you will, and yeah, he got his foot on the rope, but in typical chicken shit fashion, he decided to, instead of try to wrestle the match, he kicked me in the nerds and planted me from then on out. So Drew Douglas, I'll be seeing that bugger here at the Clarenville show.
Sounds like he's a cheater all around, though, huh?
Oh, absolutely. The dummy threw the match away. He kicked me in the nuts right in front of the referee. He got disqualified.
Well, this time you best be protected. Wear a cup in case, and be prepared for him. And this time, I think you'll have it. You know.
Oh yeah, man! I don't want to be giving no secrets out because Drew might be listening to this podcast here. But yeah, I'll definitely have something prepared there for good old Drew Douglas.
Definitely, and I hope, like I said, we wish you the best of luck in your matches, as we do with all the Cruisin for Bruisin participants. You know, like I said, we started this off all the way down, in Kansas. Talking with, one of our great friends, Rodney, the Rodfather, and he, it just started on us as a little road trip, and we're all the way up here now in Canada talking with you. And, then we'll be going back and talking with some other people. So, I mean, we will be traveling around, and, it's all it's about is just, getting great stories, meeting new people, meeting new friends, and, getting to watch new wrestling, too. I don't, that's one of the things I don't really talk about, but every time I meet, a new person, or I invite a new person to the podcast, I spend at least, like 3 or 4 hours, depending on how much content they actually have, of actually watching them. If they start giving me YouTube links and matches, I'll sit there for hours and watch match after match after match. Just to see, who I was talking to, what kind of, ring presence do they have, what kind of style, how do they wrestle, who are they wrestling, where are they wrestling for, and all that fun stuff. And, how did they differ from their interview? How have they changed? I like all that kind of stuff. I'm weird like that. I get into the geeky stuff of the wrestling industry. It's just who I am.
Oh, man, I love that. And, like, speaking to the professional wrestling industry and just what kind of power and presence it has. I remember you asked me how I first got interested, and I told you I was about 2, my cousin, right?
Yep.
By the time I was 3, I was silently in line waiting for a Chris Benoit autograph where all I wanted to do, apparently, and I don't have a visual recollection, but I still have the WWE signing autograph.
Wow.
So what my parents told me is all I wanted to do was give them a hug, but they wouldn't let me.
Really?
And I was like 3 years old.
Oh, you were young, yeah. I probably...
The night Benoit came back in Edmonton.
Really?
Yeah, you remember 2002 when he came back?
Oh, I do. Yes, I do, definitely. And that's an amazing story. That maybe that's another probably one of your maybe inspirations there that you did, like kind of like subconscious inspiration.
Oh, I loved Benoit when I was a kid. He was my favorite wrestler before everything happened.
Yeah, I mostly, to be honest with you, I mostly actually watched him, a lot of him in WCW, and then when, everything merged, I had a little bit of an issue with the whole merging, but I did watch him a lot, him, Eddie, all of them in WWE in those early 2000s, but for me, I got introduced to Benoit early on in WCW times. And yeah, there was nothing quite like him. He was something else.
Absolutely, unlike anybody else. And it's crazy because he was the first one I ever actually met. The first pro wrestler I ever got to meet in person was Benoit. And yeah, man, it's a trip, dude. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's an awesome story. That's amazing. And the fact you still have the autograph, that's great. have it
All
framed,
right,
keep it.
it's either somewhere in my house or somewhere with my parents, one of the two.
And someday WWE will be knocking on your door for those lost treasures, saying, "Hey, do you have a Benoit autograph?" You'll be like, "Yes, I do." Um,
I don't know if they'll be asking for that one, but
Never know, and what happens in the next 20. But yeah,
who knows?
um, but these are great things, and on these videos that we've been putting, we have been sharing all your links just to let you know. You can't see it now, but it is up there. Um,
Tremendous. I love it. Thank you very much.
we urge people to, I urge all my fans, check it out. Check out these people we bring on. If you can, buy some merch. What's $21 for a shirt? Not much. It's not much these days, but
Well,
it
and
helps.
not to
It helps
mention
people.
that they're all listed for what, 19.99, which out there would equal out to about what, 21 something.
I pay 21 with the tax, and then I think I pay another 4 to 5 with the ship. I think the whole ordeal comes to like $26 a shirt.
So that $26 a shirt equals out to, let's see here. So it's, I think, $7 US we get per shirt.
Okay.
And here in Canada, that's about like what, 10, $12 each
Yeah.
because of the currency exchange.
Yeah. So it all adds up. But the good thing about PWT that differs than you can make more of a margin profit obviously if you sold them yourself. But you're not stuck with any overstock, and you don't have to deal with them out of this size, them out of that size. They just make them to print.
Well, that, and you're not sitting on the shirt. That's my favorite part about pro wrestling tees, to be perfectly honest. Like, it is a bit of a pain in the ass to not have merchandise, like the T-shirts in my hands. That is a bit of a struggle when I'm trying to sell merchandise at the merchandise table sometimes.
Yeah.
However, it's also a very nice thing to be able to say, hey, man, go to X website, pick up a T-shirt, and you're not limited to what you can pick from. I've got 21 different options as we speak. That's not including the 4 or 5 I uploaded today, which are coming out shortly.
Exactly, and even if you were at the merch stand, you had the physical shirts. It's not practical to bring 26 different designs in all different sizes. You'd have, you don't even have that much space on the table. I'm a big fan of QR codes. People just can scan their phone. The code comes up. It goes right to your page. You can buy what you want, and you get out digital, virtual, merch tables, we call them, around here, and it works wonders. People can just buy what they want in the size they need, and it will be there in a couple of days.
Oh, 100%.
But I do thank you for coming on here. We are just about out of time on this. I gotta get back to the border and pick to save Wolf up. But he does have one question, and he's been asking all the people that have come onto Cruisin for a Bruisin. Let me ask you this: why you, out of everyone, should become the inaugural first Cruisin for a Bruisin champion?
Well, I got a simple answer for that, and it's just because there are 100,000 different rockers out there, that doesn't mean there's anybody quite like me, and that's something that I have above a lot of other people. Is there's nobody quite like Cameron Stevens. Cameron Stevens is a one-time person. You're not going to find another Cameron Stevens. That's not going to happen. You're going to see me all over the place, whether it's on the podcast, on the live streams, on the internet, on the video games, in the ring. Doesn't matter where you're going to see me, but you're always going to see Daddy Panther going all over the place, getting his name out there, and holding championships above his head, especially this one from the one and only Versace Stoner.
That is what we like to hear. That's the attitude that we are looking for here at the VSW. Thank you very, very much for coming on, Garen. We really appreciate it, and we will see you around. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you very much for having me on, and it was great being on here talking to you. Hopefully we can arrange to have another one come out at some point.
We definitely will. We will. Thank you again. Have a great day.
You as well, brother.
Wow, what a great combo that was with Cameron Stevens, the Stale Panther, all the way up here in Canada. My God, I just got a text. This Saber Wolf, they are letting him go, but he is not allowed in Canada. I have to take him back to the United States. That's fine. We're done with our work here. I am heading back to there, and we will see you guys soon. Hopefully, the Saber Wolf's not too frazzled. I can't stand when he gets frazzled. My God, it makes me anxious. Okay, guys, have a great day. Versace Stoner out.